today. From GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here in KC as their beloved Chiefs took the field, and they are set to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
From his own end zone, Herbert over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He finds his man, complete. It's Ballard. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On 1st and 10, Herbert finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Herbert throwing again. They'll roll him out right. Stiff-armed him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry, shedding the tackle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he will get in to make it 8-0. So what do you make of that? You go on the road, you score the opening drive touchdown, opt to go for 2, and all of a sudden they're up 8-zip.
Yeah, this wasn't a decision that they made right here and right now. They made this decision during the week. Hey, if we get the ball...
Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. Sheds off the tackle. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Jared Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0. I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And his first carry, he loses the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing this.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Kicks it on the ground with a squib. And he loses the football the 2nd time. And picked up by the Chargers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And that one is his 2nd fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
And he goes out of bounds without getting rid of it. A big loss there, and it goes down as a sack as well. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Out of the gun, Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined there.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass. Yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty.
I'm so confused. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll try the left side. It's Hines. Dancing away at the 35. He is out of bounds inside the 35.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now it's Hines. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. On first down, Hines. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. This is Hines. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll try to run with Hines. And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 9th touchdown of the season. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. Well, partner, time to start thinking about dinner plans after this one. I don't want to write him off first quarter, but my goodness, the offense clicking like this in a 4-score lead.
We are programmed to not get to that stage, right? To not think that way, but you can't help it. They look like sheer perfection right now with those 4 scores this early. Let's see if they can keep it up, and let's see if there's any way possible they can be slowed down.
Yeah, right now, I don't see any signs of them being slowed down. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On first down, Justin Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you'll get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there. And he did a lot of that on that play.
75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Herbert operating from the red zone. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get in.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Nyheim Hines, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Chargers continue to pull away here in this first half.
And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for, to get to that spot on the field.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Lucky there just to avoid the safety. Able to fight through, but still backed up near the goal line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback or running back. Usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To the air again. Herbert pushes him over. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Herbert on 1st down now. Sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Herbert right back to Williams, and this time he's got him. Had a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Here's Herbert. He'll buy some time right. Short throw to Disley. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is Jones. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. And nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. These two teams, they met in L.A. earlier in the year with the Chargers coming out victorious. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He finds his man. Complete. That's Ballard.
And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
He's checking. Crash.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. Will Dissly with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chargers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you? You
certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, it was looking like they were going to have the ball in good field position, but now with that fumble, they don't have the football at all.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to imagine what he was thinking there, though, right? I can take this one, break it, go for a big one right here. But you and I both know, always protect the football is the #1 mantra for a kick returner.
On first down, it's Herbert. And complete right side to Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes on.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll go as a sack and a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 2nd and goal. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Trey McKinney, his first touchdown on the year. And this Charger offense is running away with this one. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. So we have reached. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And picked up by the Chargers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball.
Touchdown! Keenan Allen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. It sometimes has a way of catching up with you.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Mahomes. His pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 20-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
This was almost what I've heard referred to as a pick 12.
Pick 12, explain.
Well, you're talking about the 6 that they were trying to get.
Because they were so close to the end zone.
And now the 6 going the other direction. So when you take a look at teams on the march, they're in the red zone. Then after the interception, and it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him from going all the way.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Trey McKinney with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Now it's Herbert. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall.
He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chargers get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And this is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big gain that time for the Chargers. Herbert now toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there knocking the ball away.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Nyheim Hines taking it in from 2 yards out. And this Charger offense is running away with this one. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. It's a squibber picked up around the 20. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. Mike Williams with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will extend this big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is recovered by the Chargers. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run with Hines. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
98 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Hines. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Nyheim Hines. A 3-yard touchdown run. And this Charger offense is running away with this one.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
3 yards the gain there, second down. Mahomes going to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Hardman. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Here's Herbert. Steps away to his left. Shoves him away. Runs through the contact. He's a bulldozer. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is Jones. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player.
We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
Here's Hines. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
A field goal gets them closer, but they say no thanks. We want the lead.
They'll run for it with Hines. And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Nyheim Hines taking it in from 7 yards away. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. They'll try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Uchenna Nwosu in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. He's going to field this at the 4. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer in the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And they'll bring him down right around the 13.
145 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. 2nd and 9. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. The Chargers on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They run the counter. It's Hines. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, Herbert rolling to his right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play there on the scramble.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10.
They run again with Hines. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert, a 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Chargers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat.
Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they take a knee.
Second and 11 now.
Oh, he fakes a spike.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big game that time for the Chargers.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is...
Now a hit and a loose loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They'll run on first down. Hines. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Chargers going to use their third and final timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible. Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one. They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Chargers, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponent